Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving into something really, really powerful today. It's all about purpose, longevity, and, well, happiness. And it's all drawn from this incredible book, Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life by Hector Garcia and Francesc Miralles.
It's a fantastic source.
Our mission here really is to get to the heart of this philosophy. We want to pull out the essential nuggets for you, sort of a shortcut to understanding how people can live these long, genuinely joyful lives. We're looking for their reason for being.
Which is the literal translation of Ikigai, right?
Exactly. It's that thing, that purpose, that actually makes you excited to wake up in the morning.
And what's so fascinating here is that this isn't just, some abstract self-help guide. The authors did something really unique. They blended this deep Japanese cultural wisdom with actual scientific research on longevity. And then they wove in these vivid, real stories from centenarians. So it moves way beyond just philosophy. It becomes about actual application.
And I noticed the tone of the book itself feels calm.
It is. It's very soothing, very peaceful. It sort of reflects the whole philosophy they're talking about, this idea of slow, deliberate living. The message is inspiring, but it's delivered without that high-pressure urgency you get from so much Western advice about finding your purpose.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me. The main research location for this entire book was Okinawa, Japan.
Mm-hmm. The famous archipelago?
Right, and we all know that region is famous for having one of the highest populations of people who are, 100 years old or more?
One of the world's blue zones, yeah.
But the discovery wasn't just that they live long. It's that they stay genuinely happy and, maybe most importantly, active well into their late 90s.
That's the key. It's not just about lifespan, it's about health span.
So their secret is this daily purpose, their Ikigai. But it sounds so simple. How does the book square the idea of finding your Ikigai in, say, gardening or helping your neighbors, with the huge pressure we all feel to find some grand, world-changing career?
That is the core distinction you have to get. Ikigai is defined by its scale. It does not require some massive, stressful achievement.
So no multi-million-dollar business plan.
It's the absolute antithesis of that. Your Ikigai is found in the small, tangible joys, the feeling of connection, of creating something, of being useful in your daily life.
So it's more about meaning than money or fame.
Precisely. It's about living meaningfully, but deliberately avoiding a stressful life. It's a pursuit of joy and utility that's actually sustainable for, 8 or 9 decades. The Japanese perspective seems to be that the moment you stop having a reason to be a daily activity that pulls you forward, that's when the decline really starts to accelerate.
That makes so much sense. It reframes the search from some final destination to a continuous journey. Okay, so the book laid out 6 major actionable lessons from the Okinawans' daily habits. I think we need to go through these because this is where the philosophy becomes practice.
Let's do it. The first lesson is purely foundational for longevity. Stay active. Don't retire from life.
Don't retire from life. I like that.
The data is so clear on this. In Okinawa, the concept of retirement as we know it, where you just stop all purposeful work, it just doesn't really exist. They transition, sure, but they never just stop.
So they keep up with their small hobbies, their social roles.
They keep working their gardens, they practice their crafts, they engage with their community. The equation they live by is simple. Continuous, gentle activity equals a longer life. It keeps the mind sharp and the body moving.
And that idea of continuous activity flows right into the second lesson, doesn't it?
It does. Lesson 2 is all about finding flow in daily tasks. The author spent a lot of time on this psychological state, this concept of flow. That magical zone where you lose track of all time because you're so completely absorbed in what you're doing.
I think we've all felt that. Hours can just disappear when you're working on something you actually enjoy. But how do you find that consistently?
Well, the book suggests it's about a perfect balance. Your task needs to be challenging enough that you don't get bored, but achievable enough that you don't get anxious.
Yeah, so it's that sweet spot.
Exactly. When you're in that flow state, you're at the peak intersection of your skill and the challenge in front of you. And it doesn't just feel good, it's deeply restorative. It fuels creativity. And for the Ikigai philosophy, it makes even mundane tasks feel meaningful.
Okay, so let's shift from the mind to the body, from mental activity to physical nourishment. Lesson 3 is probably the most famous one to come out of that region.
It probably is.
It's the 80% rule, or hara hachibu.
Right. The practice of eating until you feel 80% full, not completely stuffed.
It sounds so simple.
It is, but the science behind it is pretty profound. It's basically a form of consistent, mild caloric restriction. By not overloading your digestive system, you reduce oxidative stress and inflammation.
And those are major drivers of aging, right?
Huge drivers. The Okinawans see the stomach as a container for food, air, and water. By only filling it 80% with food, they leave room for digestion to happen optimally. It prevents the stress that huge meals put on the body.
So they eat mindfully.
Very. The book stresses that it's about local, mostly plant-based foods and crucially small portions on small plates. This physical restraint is a really powerful life-extending habit.
That leads perfectly into lesson 4, which is all about social health, because you rarely see someone live to 100 all alone.
That's very true.
Lesson 4, build strong friendships and social bonds. The book makes it clear, loneliness shortens your life and connection extends it. And they do this through these formal groups called moai. Tell me about the moai. Is it just a group of friends or is there more to it?
Oh, it's far more structured than just casual socializing. A moai is often a lifelong commitment. It's a small group, maybe 5 people, who meet regularly.
And they're bound by an agreement.
Yes, an agreement of mutual support, both financial and emotional.
Huh.
Members contribute a small, fixed amount of money each month. And if one person faces a crisis, say a medical bill or a funeral, the moai steps in with those collective funds.
Wow, so it's a built-in safety net.
It's a literal financial and emotional safety net. It dramatically reduces the stress and fear around personal catastrophe. It gives them a peace of mind that allows them to pursue their Ikigai without that crushing economic pressure. It's a life extender.
That is powerful. Having that kind of support removes a huge cognitive burden.
Okay, so for the final 2 lessons, we're shifting back to the mind.
We are. Lesson 5 is all about cognition and curiosity. Keep your mind young with lifelong learning.
We tend to think of learning as something that stops after college.
Exactly. But the Okinawan centenarians show us that real cognitive health depends on staying engaged way, way beyond that.
And it's not just like doing crossword puzzles, is it?
No, it's deeper. The book gives these amazing examples of people learning to play a traditional instrument at age 95 or dedicating themselves to daily calligraphy. The key is mastery. It's about engaging in new skills that truly challenge the brain, not just consuming stuff you already know.
So curiosity keeps you young. It literally fuels the brain and prevents stagnation. When you tackle a new skill, you force new neural pathways to form. This cognitive agility is a direct defense against aging.
And finally, lesson 6. This one feels like it ties everything else together.
It really does. Without this one, the other 5 are probably unsustainable. It's simply, reduce stress, live calmly and slowly.
Stress reduction isn't a bonus here, it's central to the whole philosophy.
It has to be. We all know chronic stress floods your body with cortisol, which damages your organs and weakens your immune system. The Ikigai philosophy actively fights this with daily, intentional practices.
Practices like mindfulness and meditation.
Yes, but also simpler things. Prioritizing deep breathing. A real commitment to being in the present moment. Living slowly isn't a passive state. You have to consciously choose to slow your pace, to savor small moments, and to just refuse to get caught up in the toxic rush of modern life.
Because what's the point of a long life if you're anxious the whole time?
Exactly. So what does this all mean for you, the person listening? Well, if you're feeling a bit lost or burned out, or you're just bored with your routine and searching for meaning, this philosophy can feel like an antidote. The book doesn't try to overwhelm you. It feels like it wants to heal you. It offers the grace of a daily, sustainable purpose instead of that immense, debilitating pressure to find the one big thing.
That's the core takeaway, isn't it? The real value here is in the specific, memorable details that are actually actionable. You now have the moai, that idea of a formalized social safety net, and hara hachibu, that very specific 80% dietary rule. These are 2 concrete, memorable steps you could start thinking about today.
And the strength of it all is its humility. Fulfillment is found in the small things we choose to do every day, the gardening, the craft, the chat with a neighbor, rather than waiting for some grand purpose to just descend from the heavens.
It's the daily excitement that counts.
It is.
We've seen how the Okinawans just reject the idea of stopping all purposeful activity because, for them, that's what leads to decline. That activity is their Ikigai.
Which brings us to a really important question for you to think about this week. If stopping all purposeful activity is associated with reduced longevity and happiness, what daily work or useful contribution, whether it's practicing a complex hobby, consistently volunteering, or teaching yourself a new skill, what is it that you are consciously choosing not to retire from, simply to keep your mind sharp and your life meaningful? What is that small, sustaining purpose that will pull you out of bed tomorrow? Because that is the real essence of Ikigai in action.